The Switch 2 is basically in limbo right now. It's here and not here at the same time. At least that's what I thought while outlining the script for this video the other night. I was going to talk about how Nintendo just needs to announce this thing already, and how keeping it on ice is doing nothing to build hype at this point. The specs were leaked a while ago, and we pretty much knew what this thing was going to look like. Why would Genki, I think that's the name of the company, put their entire brand on the line showcasing their accessories for it? Why would Nintendo's lawyers visit their booth? And then Nintendo, they pretty much gave it away themselves by saying the leaks were not official. Then we had all these Nintendo YouTubers over here like reanimated corpses. They've been starved for content for so long, they've resorted to either branching out a little or, in some cases, sticking to the same few talking points ad nauseum. This is why I don't want to get into gaming news related content. I actually enjoy keeping my sanity intact. I bet Zach from Switch Force is already doing double time with the clickbait now. Seriously, how does this guy have an audience on this platform? He literally talks about nothing. Anyways, let me avoid talking about nothing and just get right into it. The wait is finally over and the Switch 2 reveal was, revealed? It certainly wasn't surprising to say the least. Like I said, the leaks were so rampant and so accurate that Nintendo's official reveal feels like them saying, you know, this was supposed to be a surprise, but since you're just so impatient, here, just have it. It doesn't change the fact that this is our next-gen console from Nintendo, though, so there still is a worthwhile discussion to be had here. In this video, I'll be going over the reveal and giving my thoughts, as well as some concerns I have, and what I would like to see from Nintendo. So when the original Switch was revealed, we got a damn good look at what this was all about. Some examples of how we'd be playing this thing, being able to go from playing on the big screen to taking it wherever we want to, and the games being showcased like Skyrim and Breath of the Wild showed us that this handheld was very much a home console at the same time. Say what you want about the Switch's weak hardware now, but Skyrim and open world Zelda on the go was a hell of a proposition. This reveal, on the other hand, doesn't even come close to the original Switch. It was the most cut and dry CGI showcase you could imagine. Very much like something you would see from Sony and Xbox. You know, the sweeping close-ups panning around a white void. Honestly, the silly sound effects emphasizing this is the Switch but bigger, it just comes across as a bit amateur. Like they threw this thing together in a few days. I get that the Switch is nearly a decade old and we're all pretty much past the need for an introduction, but this is kind of disappointing. I know, it's really just validating what we already knew. A bigger Switch with bigger Joy-Cons that magnetically attach. I will say this, I really like the design of it being all black with minimal contrasting colors other than the hints of blue and orange on the thumbsticks. This thing does not look like a toy. It's got that PC handheld vibe to it. What I do find the most interesting though is that tease of what looks like the mouse controls people were speculating about when they noticed what looked like an optical sensor on the leaked Joy-Con photos. Original speculation was that the shoulder bumpers would work kind of like a scroll wheel on a mouse, and it's pretty surprising that we weren't even off back then with it being mouse related in some way. Having mouse controls for console gaming could be a huge deal when it comes to competitive FPS games or things like RTS games and really anything that relies on a cursor. A game that I would love to see ported to Switch 2 would be Project Zomboid, because that game is nearly unplayable on controller. Maybe we'll get the Stalker trilogy. There's a bunch of boomer shooters that I own on Switch that I'd like to jump back into with mouse controls. What this could also hint at is way more performance than we might be expecting. We know Nintendo's doing something with DLSS, and I doubt they would do the whole mouse thing if they weren't confident with higher frame rates and lower latency. This can be a double-edged sword though. DLSS doesn't mean much when your game looks like it's running at 60 but feels like it's running at 20. That and the visual artifacting that fake frames can cause. I've seen a lot of videos showing things off like jittery lighting and ghosting, so let's hope that third-party publishers don't use this tech as a further excuse not to optimize their games. But let's be honest, we all know they will. Expect to see a lot of games using fake frames instead of raw performance. So the Joy-Cons on the original Switch, they absolutely sucked. It was ridiculous to have to sift through a bunch of third-party controllers just to get decent gameplay. And I'm kind of concerned with the thumbsticks here. Like, they still don't look like they have a lot of travel. And honestly, that's probably one of my biggest concerns. I don't like the thumbsticks on the original Switch, and I feel like I'm not going to like them here either. Now, a lot of people are talking about the screen, right? And not that it's bigger, just that we're going back to LCD from OLED. I really don't see a problem with this. Since the original Switch, LCD technology has drastically improved. If you've been keeping up with PC handhelds or even smaller retro handhelds, like, you notice that screens are looking way better. Honestly, a lot of these screens, even on the LCD Steam Deck, look amazing compared to the original Switch. So I really don't think that this having an LCD screen is really going to be much of a problem. What I do want to see improved though is Nintendo's online service. There is no reason why we shouldn't be able to play GameCube games on NSO. If they just transfer over NSO in its current state, like, I'm not going to be able to deal with that. Like, I want to be able to play F-Zero GX, Wind Waker, Twilight Princess. Like, give me something. Because what we have now just does not cut it at all. And I know that's not everything covering the reveal, but it's everything that I found noticeable. So what about the games? We know that Mario Kart 9 is a thing now, but what about the next Zelda? If we're going to stick with open air Zelda, I would really love to see something kind of Wind Waker-esque. You know, maybe we go from Hyrule to traveling the Great Sea. Like, I would love to see that. If we get another 3D Mario like Odyssey, think of how cool it would be like in Bowser's Fury. If every single level was like that open zone, that would be crazy. We're definitely due for another Donkey Kong Country game. And now that the Switch 2 is revealed, I'm expecting third-party publishers to open the floodgates. Elden Ring, Monster Hunter Wilds, and who knows, don't quote me on it, but maybe GTA 6? I don't know if it'll be running at 60, but like I said, we know they're doing something with DLSS. And I've seen videos with multi-frame generation that look pretty promising. But I don't know, I wanted to say something about the Switch 2. I have some other videos that I wanted to publish, but that's really not going to matter if the algorithm is pushing them out of the way for Nintendo Switch 2 news. But anyways, I appreciate you watching the video as always, and I hope I catch you on the next one. Alright, bye.